All
Thank you
right,
for the
let's do
rec.
your number 5.
Eagles.
Eagles. All right. All right. I got Lions, so I think we're close. I had
This is
Eagles
funny.
4.
I got Lions 4.
So we're so freaking close, man.
Yeah, it's top. It's tough.
And yeah, I mean the Lions, they probably have the best quality win against the Chiefs. The only win against another 5-1 team out of the 4 or 5-1 teams. There's 5, 3 in the NFC, 2 in the AFC. But no Kelsey, no Chris Jones, and I think Chris Jones playing Defensive Player of the Year caliber again. He
Yeah,
was
him
my
and Fred
runner-up to
Warner right
Bosa.
now. Well, you got
Yeah,
both. Yeah, I got Fred Warner as defensive player of the year as of right now. But Chris Jones came out of nowhere, missed week 1, got
right.
the contract because they realized they were stupid, and then next thing you know, bada bing boom boom, like he just back to like he didn't skip a beat. You know what I mean? And some players are
Right.
just like that. So I'm curious to know. You want to know my number 3? Because I'm gonna
Yes.
get okay. So this is where Breezy gets cursed out. I actually have the 49ers as number 3.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, we love Wayne because Wayne is Wayne and Wayne is consistent. And so
Yes.
he's going to be who he is. And when there's 5-1 teams, power rankings will sort themselves out. And I think if you're in these kind of top 5 or top 3 or whatever, I have the Dolphins 3. Um,
Ooh.
the injuries, the only reason why I put 2 to 3 in the poll says red and gold blooded. The
Right. So
injuries.
if I did the poll, I wouldn't have gave my context why, but I was picking 2 to 3 too. And as you can see, I have the Niners at 3.
And that's 35% of the vote is 2 to 3. So I have no issues with that.
Here's the thing, right? And I know we're not talking about this game, and and it's cool. But the only reason why we lost this game is because we were the most undisciplined team out there on the football field. I don't care how many penalties they got. I only care about how many penalties we got.
In the
13,
times we get them on
it,
first down to
just
start a drive over
just
and over again.
13 is way too many.
We get it on third down defensively. Were they bad calls? Some of them, yes.
Yeah,
Were they all bad calls? No, they were not.
but you can't play like I don't want the players to play like subjectively to football. I want them to be able to play based off of instinct and hard and all that stuff. But those aren't even I wasn't even mad. I'm not even mad about those penalties. That's gonna happen because of the idiotic refs. I'm talking about false starts and even on the Trent Williams hold, which I thought was one of the things that made his negative grade. Like, was that really a hold?
No.
Like, right. And
But
then
he did
Juice,
this. He did this.
did he
And
do
whenever
that?
yeah, right afterwards he did this and looked at the ref. The ref looked at him and threw the flag immediately. It's
See,
like
so they gotta stop
I
selling
used
it.
to
But
always tell players, don't do that crap.
is that the
It's like
same
he
play
did
where
right.
Juice blew up the dude? Yeah, so like, but he sold it, like he gave it away. Like players got to stop doing that. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was probably one of the worst ones. And then you get the intentional groundings. That's a penalty. Like then you get like the Niners beat themselves, and I'm not discrediting what they did. The Cleveland Browns, the defense, but the Niners defense played to me just as well. I don't care how many yards they get. I don't care if it's 334 yards. They still only gave up 19 points. And they got beat on a trick play. Like they
Mhm.
got beat with a tight end lined up at the center with no quarterback on the football field. That to me is on Steve Wilkes, and he has to make sure that his defense is prepared for the inevitable, right? So I don't want to sit there and talk about this, but that's why I have the Niners at 3. They make too many damn mistakes.
Yeah. Okay, good. I like it. Let's finish with your top 2.
I got Chiefs number 2 because I don't care. Like they just don't look good, but they win. It doesn't matter, but
They're
they
actually
win.
playing great defense. That's what's crazy.
They're playing good defense. They got Bolton back. They look good. So this is not a shot at them, but offensively, they just don't look good. They don't look good. And if their defense isn't giving them the ball back and they getting opportune times or more chances to put 3 points up on the board, cool. But offensively, they just don't look good.
That's fair. That's fair. So number 1, you got the Miami,
I
the
got the
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah.
And I get it. They're the opposite because their offense is looking like the greatest of all time, and their
Hmm.
defense is not great.
So they don't
They're
care
like,
if they give up 30 points. They're gonna score 50.
yep,
Yeah.
they're Rams. Now my top 5 is Niners 1, Chiefs 2, Dolphins 3, Eagles 4, Lions 5.
Okay.
But any of those 5, I don't care where you put them. They all have the same record, and it's going to solve itself. Like we're going to find out again. Eagles Niners play this week.
They do.
And, their quarterback is struggling, but they're still a damn good team. Offensive line, defensive line, the Eagles are top notch. It's just what it is. And so they've got playmakers. Jalen Hurts is having a very down year. I mean, extremely down year. If he gets things figured out, we'll see. But he's been awful. I mean, 3 interceptions in one game. Come on,
One
man.
game.
Against backup corners.
When you're playing a tough defense, when you're playing a team that predicates themselves off of defense, like you have to be ready to counter that.
Mhm.
Right? And that doesn't mean you counter it with an explosive offense. Why do you think the 49ers lost?
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I'm not saying, and the Eagles to me have an explosive offense too. They just couldn't activate it against that Jets defense. When those defenses are just flying all over the field and flying at all cylinders, you got to figure out a way offensively how to counter it to where it's going to slow them down, and then you can interject what you like to do on the offense. And so the Eagles struggled against the Jets. The Niners struggled against the Browns. The Jets and the Browns have really good defenses, defensive-minded coaches, and you see kind of like what ended up happening, right? And so even the Niners couldn't figure out how to stop screenplays, and the Jets couldn't figure out. I mean, the Eagles couldn't figure out how to stop whatever the Jets were doing, even though the Jets didn't look good offensively. Neither did the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
That's funny, right? Like you look at the Cleveland Browns, what did they do offensively? They did rush for 160 yards. I know what the numbers
Screenplays.
say.
It was all screenplays.
I get the numbers, but come on, John. Like Niners got to be better. They got to
Yeah.
prepare for screens.
Yeah.
Good. They got to prepare for it. It's just another tool they need to add to their toolbox. How to stop screens.
You know who the best screen stuffing linebacker is in the NFL?
Oh, he didn't play. He didn't play on Sunday.
He didn't play. Do you know who the worst rated player for the 49ers was this week? Oren Burks. And I love Oren Burks, but
That's
I
not
want
his
him as a
game.
role player. I don't want him as a star. He played every defensive snap. I think he missed one. Like 5'7" going to be out there this week.
Listen, and listen, 5'7" is to the defense, and I know people aren't going to agree with this, as Deebo Samuel is to the offense.
Changes
And
everything.
It changes everything. I watched our head coach look flustered for the first time all season. He couldn't figure out why his plays weren't working once Deebo left the game. And I know we love Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey is it. But if Deebo was injured and didn't play in this game, it would have been a totally different game plan. Does that
Yep.
make sense?
Yep.
But the fact that he played, for some reason, Kyle kept running the same type of plays with these other players. And I love Ray, but he's not Deebo. He's not. He might be quicker, but he's not Deebo.
No,
And
there's no other Deebo.
there's just no other Deebo, and that's how important he is. And that's why I got so upset on my overreaction show, because now I want people to see how important he is for this football team. John, you made mention that the Cleveland Browns struggled in pre-snap defense when in motions. That all went out the window the moment Deebo Samuel was gone.
It did. It did. And we stopped running outside the tackles. They were overloading, going through the film, which we just finished for the 49ersrush.com. They were blitzing their linebackers, nickels, and safeties straight up the B gaps to stop the inside run. Wide open outside the tackle the whole damn game.
That's how Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
Yep. And the only person that had success running up the middle was Jordan Mason, and you didn't trust him.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.